Hi, welcome to my first photo battle report. This is me and Anthony's at the Sustainable Center's Orcs and Goblins versus my Empire Army, 2,000 points. You can see he has 5 Wolf Riders. This is already post Vanguard move. 40 Savage Orc Biggins with his level 4 Shaman. There are 3 Trolls behind the horde of Savage Orcs, and he's got 40 Squig Herders. I want to say it's 30-10. Behind them, I think you can see them better in this picture. Behind him, he's got his Night Goblins. It was like 30 or 35, wasn't very many, with his Goblin Big Boss, BSB, and War Boss, who I believe had the Armor of Destiny. And then 40 Black Orcs. And you can almost see them behind the Temple of Skulls or whatever, but there's 5 Wolf Riders that had made a funny Vanguard move. My Pistoliers had moved up along the right flank, and he, in response, took the Wolf Riders all the way back behind his lines. For my army, we had 3 Demigryphs with a Musician, 29 Swordsmen with an attached Battle Standard Bearer who's wearing the armor of Meteoric Iron and using a great weapon. Behind them is the Celestial Hurricanum, and then 24 Great Swords with the Warrior Priest, who has an Iron Curse icon and the Dragon Helm, and then my General, my Shadow Wizard Lord with the Talisman of Preservation. The Hellblaster on the hill. There's a detachment of 5 archers with the Great Swords, so they're going to be stubborn as well. And then I took 9 Inner Circle Knights with a Warrior Priest on a Barded Warhorse with the Enchanted Shield, Luckstone, and the Crown of Command. So this is what it looks like after the first moves, I believe, that Anthony made. He took the Wolf Riders right up in front of the Demigryphs, took the other Wolf Riders back around the Temple of Skulls, and everybody shuffled forward. Turn 1 Magic, I want to say he rolled like an 11. He has Headbutt and the Foot of Gork. Those are the 2 spells I was worried about. He casts Headbutt first. I figure it's only going to wound him. I only got a 50% chance of wounding my wizard, and then I have a 50% chance of saving it, and then I have a 66% chance of it not doing enough wounds to kill him, so I let it go through thinking I'll save my dice for Foot of Gork, and sure enough, he gets it off. It wounds. I fail my ward save, and it rolls 3 wounds, so that's my Wizard Lord dead on turn 1. And then Anthony rolls Irresistible Force on the Foot of Gork, starts on the Knights, kills 3 Knights, then moves to the Great Swords, kills like 11, I want to say, of the Great Swords. They pass their respective panic checks. And this is what it looks like after turn 1 Orc Magic. Foot of Gork stomps 2 of my units, and then he gets bored and wanders off. The Pistoliers move up on the beginning of my turn. I had no charges to declare. Actually, I take it back. I did declare a charge. You'll see that on the next slide. The Pistoliers had moved up and are out of line of sight of the Black Orcs. The Demigryphs charged the Wolf Riders. The Wolf Riders fled. The Demigryphs caught them, and that's where that happened. Everybody else moved forward, and the Knights came back behind the Great Swords with the intent to kind of consolidate my force. And here's a wide-angle shot on Empire movement. Magic is really uneventful. I think I tried to get I think I might have killed the Savage Orc with the Storm of Shemtek off the Celestial Hurricanum, and then on Warrior Priest buffs, but I don't have my level 4 anymore, so... Orc turn 2 movement. Everybody moves forward. The Savage Orcs declared a charge on the Demigryphs. They held. The Squig Herds declared a charge on the Demigryph, and I chose to flee with them. Both of the units failed their charge and shuffled forward. The Demigryphs ended up in the lower left-hand corner, as you can see. The Wolf Riders moved up to threaten the archers. Foot of Gork goes off again in the magic phase and kills another 12 Great Swords, so now that unit's basically been decimated. They pass their panic check, and it does not roll any further attacks. Empire turn 2 movement. I move the Pistoliers back behind to start peppering his command unit. The Knights move up, the Archers move up, the Great Swords freeform and march back. The Demigryphs rally and move up with the Swordsmen with the Hurricanum supporting them. This entire time, the Hellblaster volley gun's been shooting and killing nothing, misfiring or killing nothing. I don't think it killed maybe 5 models all game, so not very useful. The Squig Herd declares a charge against the Knights hold. I believe the Black Orcs declare a charge against the Archers and they flee. So that looks like that. The Squig Herd actually is not in contact with the Archers. The Archers are detachment, so they don't cause panic, but they bounce through the other side of the Knights. So the Orcs fail their charge, the Squig Herders pass their charge. I don't know if we did this 100% right, but because the Archers were there, I didn't bring those Knights over into base contact, so it's just the Warrior Priest on the flank with the Squig Herd. I think the Savage Orcs had to charge and failed their charge too. I forget what really happened with them. The Trolls moved around, and everybody else moves up. I declare a charge. In close combat, real quick, the Warrior Priest has a 1-up armor save, which goes to 3-up after you take into account the Squig's strength. He passed all of his armor saves. I think he failed one in the Luckstone, saved it, and then he's Crown of Command Leadership 8, and at this point he was within a foot of the BSB, so they held. I don't remember if he killed any Squigs or not, it doesn't really matter. I declared a charge with the Swordsmen and the Demigryphs on the Savage Orcs. They're frenzied, so they hold, and I make the charge with both of those units. Here's what this looks like. I think I killed 2. I think I got the word save up on the Warrior Priest for this turn, because magic's really, at this point, a non-issue. The Warrior Priest kills 2. The Squig Herds cause no wounds on him with his ward save and with his high armor save. And again, Stubborn Leadership 8, so they hold. This combat is a bloodbath. The Demigryphs come in and kill like 6 Savage Orcs on the charge. The Swordsmen kill his level 4 in just regular attacks. Additional attacks plus rank, standard, charge, and then stomps has him testing on like Snake Eyes, even from the General's leadership. So the Savage Orcs lose combat and flee. They cause a couple of wounds that like 8 swordsmen die and 1 wound to the Demigryph, but really not that much. I pursue, run them down. My overrun roll with the swordsman is too short to contact the Night Goblins, so the Night Goblins are actually out of combat. Over here, I think he does 1 wound to me, I forget, but it's a very uneventful combat. The Archers rallied, but they're going to stay out of that combat. The Black Orcs declare a charge against the Knights and fail. The Trolls declare a charge on the Demigryphs, and the Night Goblins declare a charge on the Swordsmen. Both of those units hold. He vomits. He only has 1 model in base contact with the Demigryph. He chooses to vomit. Does an automatic wound between charge, flank, and 1 wound. He wins combat. The Demigryphs flee. The Trolls don't catch them, but they overrun into the Celestial Hurricanum's flank. The Night Goblins, I do a couple of wounds and they hold. I don't think it was a big deal. I think I issue a challenge with my BSB and I murder the unit champion. But we lose combat. They're steadfast, and that was that. The Pistoliers come into the flank. At the beginning of, yeah, that's what this combat looks like now. My magic phase for this turn, the Celestial Hurricanum gets off the Storm of Shemtek, the small template hits the Black Orcs, and it rolls the Raging Tornado. We'd roll the scatter die and ends up swinging the unit to face completely away from the battle, giving my knights now another turn of a reprieve from the Black Orc Horde. This was a complete surprise to both of us. I kind of written off the magic phase, and you don't really have any control over what the Celestial Hurricanum will do in the first place. This was just tremendously good luck, and I couldn't ask for anything better out of this magic phase. Over here, the Warrior Priest finally bites it to the Squig Herd. He's absorbed at this point something like 40-something Strength 5 attacks. It was only a matter of time. He only has 2 wounds. They lose combat, flee, get away, don't run off the board, but they're very close to running off the board. The Squig Herd pursues and falls just short of contacting the Hellblaster, but that's okay. They'll be in the beginning of next turn. You can see the Great Swords with their attached Warrior Priest off to the side there. There was really nothing for them to do. They're too small. I didn't want to lose them and give up those points, so I just kind of hid them for the rest of the game. The Wolf Riders come in on a flank charge at the beginning of Orc turn 5, I want to say this is. Yeah. And here's a wide angle shot of what that looks like. He brings the Squig Herd into the Hellblaster. The Black Orcs position to charge the fleeing Demigryphs, and the Trolls are already in combat with the, or in contact with the Celestial Hurricanum. Another look at this. Trolls beat the Hurricanum and run it down in combat, and I think the Demigryphs had rallied from their fleeing and were getting ready to like flank to rear charge or to do something with the Black Orcs. I don't really know, but anyway, so the Trolls overrun into the rear of the Demigryphs. In that combat, I had challenged his general with my BSB, who smacks him around over the last 2 turns. We kill enough, they're no longer steadfast, and run down his general, his BSB, and the Night Goblin unit with the swordsmen. The Wolf Riders flee and are run down by the Pistoliers. The Hellblaster is destroyed by the Squig Herd. They actually flee off the table, but that movement tray, all those squigs are pewter, that's very heavy, so rather than taking it off the table and putting it someplace, I just kind of turned it around and left it on the table. So at the end of that turn, the Trolls had overrun into the Demigryphs, and we'll settle that next turn. And as you can see, they charged. He did 2 vomit attacks. The Demigryphs killed a troll outright, I believe. They have a higher initiative and they have so many attacks, so they killed a troll and put another wound on one. They had 2 vomit attacks. Those are strength 5 automatic hits that no armor saves allowed. So that's almost guaranteed to cause 2 wounds on Demigryphs. However, Anthony rolls Snake Eyes for his 2 wound rolls. So despite having the charge and the rear, the Trolls lose combat. They have no leadership now, so they flee and they're run down by the Demigryphs. So we chose to end the game here because at this point he's not going to get any more points from me before the end of the game, and it was late. We had to, we wanted to wrap this up. But it actually goes to an Empire victory because all he has left is the Black Orc Horde and the Squig Herd Horde, and I have only lost the Hurricanum and the volley gun, everything, and characters, but everything else is still on the table, or the level 4. So yeah, it was a very surprising victory for me. I kind of almost written off the game when I lost my level 4 on turn 1 and started to play very conservatively, and it really paid off. The MVP, of course, I think are the Demigryphs. They're a tank. The armor save is tremendous. The amount of attacks that just 3 of them put out is really tremendous. Swordsmen were solid performers. In my BSB, of course, the armor of Meteoric Iron just makes him really reliable as well. Here's another shot of the end disposition of that horde. And there you go. So I hope you enjoyed. That was 2,000 points, Empire vs. Orcs Goblins, with a victory for Empire. Thank you very much. Have a good one.